Hi and welcome to my channel. I thought it was about time that I did some spring cleaning in my shelves, so that's what I did, and I'm taking you on the journey with me. Each time I finish reading a book, I put it on top of this shelf behind me, and I sort of wait until I have enough books to put into the shelf in the right place at the same time, because it's really satisfying. I also thought I'd do some unhauling in this video, because once I start cleaning up, it's easier for me to identify which books I don't really care for or don't want in my shelf anymore, so that'll come a little bit later in this video. I am trying to buy fewer books this year, and by getting rid of some of them now, I might just buy some new ones at the end of the year if I get really desperate. But I haven't yet decided if that's allowed yet, but we'll see. Either way, it's good for me to get a bit of refreshment in my shelves. So my system is sort of simple but useless. It's in alphabetical order, but it's two chunks. It's one with the books that I have read on top, and then the books I haven't read on the bottom. It's meant to be like a progress bar, so I could track my progress more easily. So the books I've read sort of goes like this over to that side, and then start over here and row number 2 over to this side again. And the reason why this isn't the best system, of course, is that for each time that I've read a certain amount of books, I have to move all of the books that I haven't read down a bit, and I've taken some measures to prevent the chaos I had to go through today with moving all of the books nearly, and that's leaving a lot of space in the middle here, so I have something to go on. Also, I finally went out and got my last bookshelves. Since I put these shelves together a little while ago, I've sort of been missing some of the boards that go in them, because these are old Billy shelves from IKEA, and I collect them for free from people around this area. I've sort of been a bit lazy because I haven't really had the need for them just yet, but since I was making this video, I might as well just drive around and collect a few more, and so I did. Originally they all have like 5 shelves in them, but I use 7 in those that go all the way down to the floor. And as you see, there's an ugly sofa standing in front of them, so I don't need 7 shelves for all of them just yet, but at some point I will. I will also get a new sofa. It's really only one thing that has been bugging me when it comes to not having the last shelves, and that is that when I sit in my regular studio, you can see on the left side of the screen that there's a blank space without books in my background, and yeah, that's the only real reason. So I'm looking forward to making a normal video again, and then you can see books down to the floor. It will be glorious. It also bugs me that you can see the sofa in the picture, but that's a bigger discussion. Anyway, there is something to be said about a bookshelf where you sort of know all the books and you want to read all the books, or you have read the books. At least that is my goal. And I don't like having books in my shelf that I do not know anything about. Unless they have a gorgeous cover, of course. That's a different story. That's mainly the reason why I wanted to get rid of some books at least. And the first books I really don't want to get rid of, but I sort of have to because I have them already, and some of them are in the same editions that I'm now holding in my hands, and that is Tarja Vesos books. So Tarja Vesos is easily one of my favorite authors and has written some of my favorite books, and that's why it's difficult to get rid of them. But as I said, I have the same editions in my shelves. These editions are very common, and yeah, I don't think grandkids of everyone likes to keep them around. That's why it's easy to find them thrifted, for example. So these will go. Also a book that's leaving me is Olav Duun and Olsøygutane. This is a Norwegian classic. It is one of the first books that I bought like ever because it looks quite cool, but I'm a bit over that now, I feel. I'm becoming a less and less vain reader as the days go by. That's a good thing. Also, I've sort of lost my appetite for moldy looking and smelling books, so that's why it's leaving. Next one out is not a Norwegian classic, but it could be a global classic. The author has at least won the Nobel Prize for Literature, and it's this one, Nadine Gordimer and Traveling Alone. I hope it's called in English. The reason why I kept this is because she has won the Nobel Prize for Literature, but I found out that it's supposed to be very, very slow, and I'm trying to be better at just letting go of books, so that's basically why. This year I'm using both Goodreads and Storygraph, and I'm trying to decide what the differences are. And before I used Goodreads to check up on if I would like books or not. But this time I preferred using Storygraph because they have pacing as one of the things you can decide when you review a novel. And this is really valuable to me. If I don't know about the book and the plot could go both ways, I find that pacing is one of those things that could really decide it for me. So Storygraph is becoming more and more popular in my head. Next up is one of those that I've tried to get rid of earlier, but there's something holding me back, but this time it needs to go, and that is The Seamstress by Maria Dunes. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but this time around she's going away. I think the reason why I'm struggling with this one is that it's a romance set around the time of Second World War. I could like this, but I despise the cover art, so that's maybe why it's going away. If you feel like it, you can comment below if there's a book you think that I will regret getting rid of, and I'll consider it. Then for something very easy, and that is Police by Jon Esbø. I will get hold of this anytime, anywhere, anyplace. And I'm just not that keen on reading Jon Esbø just yet. I'm still on the Lars Kepler, and I think I will finish that series before I start a new crime fiction, because I don't read that much crime fiction, I guess. So this was an easy one, and it's also taking a lot of space, so try twice the happiness. Yeah. Then it's Zorba the Greek by Nikos Kazantzakis. I knew the title, and that's why I got it. But reading about it, it doesn't seem all that interesting, so I need to stop thinking that I need to justify the books I'm getting rid of, but I still do, and I'm terrible at it. Both getting rid of books and thinking about why I want to get rid of them, because often it's just a feeling. And now for something completely different, and it's Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. So I don't often find fantasy at thrift stores or in used at all, because people that read fantasy often like to cling on to their books, and I get it. But this one had an odd size. Also, I have the 3 first books in the Stormlight archives, and I'm not yet finished with the Mistborn series, so I just don't think that this would have worked out, let's put it that way. And if I one day actually finish reading Stormlight Archives, I might as well just buy it brand new, because we're talking about years. And now for something I regret buying, and it's Faustus or Faust or Faust or Faust by Goethe. The reason why I regret this is that this is the part 2, and I don't have the part 1, so quite the easy choice this time. And the last one that doesn't make the cut this time is Joseph Roth and the Radetzky March. Read about it, didn't seem all that exciting, and bye bye. Bye bye. Since I spent the whole day cleaning up my shelves, I'm a bit tired now. And also I think this video is over soon. I thought of making a bookshelf tour inside of this video, but I found out that that video would become too long, so that will actually be my next video, so I hope you'll watch it. And thank you for watching this one. I hope you have a pleasant day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!